You're watching Escape Adulthood Live, your number one source for long-lasting, fast-acting, physician-approved adultitis relief.
On this week's show, we're talking about Spider-Man, miniature dioramas, and the Slingshot strategy for beating burnout.
Greetings and salutations, everyone! This episode is brought to you by people like Tammy Schroeder, Holy Fiend, and Amanda Ward Prince. Their membership in the Wonder Whimsy Society supports us in this work to fight adultitis. Thank you, guys.
Yes, if you'd like to annihilate the adultitis in your life, learn more about the Wonder Whimsy Society, or just know about our newest offerings, become an insider at escapeadulthood.com/subscribe. Happy Wednesday, friends!
Indeed. It is great to be here with you live.
I have been waiting for this moment all day to just sit here with you guys, see all these familiar names. We got Kathy Rose. Welcome back, Kathy. We got
Christy, Jane. Good to see you.
Mary Beth, Kelsey. I know some of us we've been busy, and it's just nice to be sitting and just kind of taking in this adultitis fighting power tonight. Superpowers.
Yes, nice to see Rich getting some brownie points in, saying that his wife is his favorite superhero.
Hey, I would agree with that. Martha rocks, right? And then I also like Christy Ward's comment. Hello, Christy. Happy belated birthday to you. I can't disagree with it. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? You would have to agree with that. Come on, be honest. Oh, I thought you were going to push this.
Yeah, baby.
You are.
Here's my favorite superhero. Anybody else loving on this new Wonder Woman that is in the...
That's like 5 years old.
New to me. I mean, I was a kid when the other Wonder Woman was popular, so it's neat to have like a modern day
good Wonder
Woman. And of course, Ben's favorite. We've been doing the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
thing.
We're going to talk all about Spidey tonight. It's just great to be here. We want to kick things off right away with a little behind the scenes. We got a bunch of things to share, actually. A little behind the scenes
busy month
of my studio. All right, well, the biggest news of all, we announced last week that we had a hole.
Holy hole.
We had a holy hole in our backyard, and now that hole is filled with concrete walls, which is exciting.
It's kind of like street magic to see this come together.
Street magic?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot about construction, I'll be honest. Our house was built when I was living in it. So there was it was so cool to see these guys pull this off in the cold. They did a good job.
It's pretty impressive just to know the craft of it. I was talking to my friend Scott the other day, and we were joking. I'm an artist, writer. He's a writer. And we're laughing at the fact that we call what we do a craft.
What's wrong with that?
It is what it is. But like sitting at your keyboard typing is nothing compared to what these craftsmen do with steel and concrete.
It's just a different kind of craft.
It is, but it's actual work. I think that's it. It's like they're doing God's work. I mean, I'm impressed.
Especially in 15-degree weather. I mean, they were really hard workers.
Of course, my dad has a construction background, and so I have a special place in my heart for that. And I got to tell you, Lucy and I picked her up from feeding the horses the other day, and we came to look at the hole when we drove in, and
the holy hole.
The smell. Like they say, the smell is the sense that's most connected to nostalgia, to your past. Yes. And it brought me back. I was 5 years old.
There wasn't even any lumber.
No, but the smell of fresh concrete and the gravel and the I don't even know what the smell was, but it was my childhood of my dad building houses and taking me on.
That's interesting.
On the thing. And he built our house, our childhood home. So it flashed me back to that. It was amazing. And I can't wait for the rest of it. So it's basically a little addition to our home that is going to be my studio. And we're going to be sharing the journey along the way. But we're very excited about that. Of course, now We have to wait till the cold weather passes for the actual
rest
of it. But this is a huge step.
If you read my Whimsy Wednesday post, you guys know it was a little bit of a miracle, let's be honest, to get this with the long permit process so that we could just hit the ground running in the spring. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, Jane says, do not discount the craftsmanship of wordsmithing. You're not just discounting yourself for what others of us do too. You're right, Jane. Cool. It was more playing, joking with ourselves about, frankly, how much we appreciate what we do. Like how blessed I am to be able to do things like this, to be able to do the writing.
I love Kathleen. She's got a good idea for us. And Kathleen, by the way, if you don't know, used to be our old... Not our old. It makes it sound like you're like 95 years old.
She's 97 years old, Kathleen.
She used to live, we shared backyards. So we have lots of shared memories of backyards together. So our new backyard, right?
Yeah. Mary, yes, thank you. I think he means physical versus cerebral. Yeah, a little bit like that, I guess. I like Rachel says, I feel that way in lumberyards too. My dad always worked in lumberyards. So yeah, there's something about those building materials that are pretty awesome. So that's I guess probably one of the biggest things we wanted to share. However, there are some other cool things I wanted to share as well.
By the way, Jane says wordsmithing will never get you a six-pack, will it?
I wish. Then I would be pretty like Thor. So this is something that I've been working on recently. So these are, if you're a regular watcher of the show, once a month we award an Adultitis Fighter of the Month. And
that didn't sound
where
so
that went
good.
off. So we do that, and I create little baby original paintings as a little award on a small little easel here. And so I just finished 12 of these bad boys right there. And little spoiler alert: the post is going up tomorrow. But I don't know if I can get it.
There it is.
Jen DeRitter is our January winner.
Yeah. Jen DeRitter. Oh, so deserved.
Yeah, it was one of those things I can't believe she hasn't already been named. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like Susan Lucci finally winning an Emmy, I think.
Jen DeRitter, you're the Susan Lucci of our tribe.
Yeah. So we're excited about that, and I've been spending time on that, and I always try to do something a little bit different. Ben saw me doing all 12 of them, and he's like, "Why don't you just paint one and print them out?" And obviously, I'm like, smart guy. And I said, "Well, because we promised that they'd be originals, Ben, and that is what it is." But also, there's a couple paintings that I'm almost finished with. I've got a new one that I'm kind of in the middle of, I'm excited about. And all of this is built on this concept that this year my goal is to spend 400 hours in the studio. So that comes out to about 8 hours a week, about 33 hours a month, give or take. And I made myself a little sheet that is a tracker for me. So every box represents an hour. And I had one earlier, but like I do it in half if I spend half an hour. And then down below is where I'm going to write down the finished pieces that I do.
How many's in a row?
20.
20, okay, because Kathleen just asked how many. So he's done 18 hours already in January, which is not bad.
I'm definitely going to be starting behind the 8 ball because we're going to be going on vacation here pretty quick. And we got a late start in the beginning of the month because of our retreat. So I'm probably not going to get 33 hours in, but I'm going to be close.
Yeah.
But I think I'll be able to make up for it elsewhere. So that's, sometimes there's just the power of making a little tracker like that for yourself or whatever it is, whether it's glasses of water or walks or whatever it is you want to accomplish over the course of a year. That's kind of a way that has helped
One year I made one for sales contacts. So I filled in a circle for every sales contact each week, and it was like 10 a week or something, kind of outbound. It kept me on track.
Yeah, easy. And Martha calling out, she says, I thought goals were # not a rule. And that's a good point, Martha. In our Wonder and Whimsy Society, we had a mastermind meeting on New Year's Day where we talked about the year ahead. And one of the things I brought up was the idea of systems versus goals. And it's not necessarily that goals are bad, but systems are better. And so actually this is a system. I can't necessarily control how many pieces of artwork I'll make in a year. I can't control how many of the originals will get sold. I can't control how much money I'll make off of prints. Those might be goals, but making 400 hours in the studio is something that is entirely within my control and is a system.
Martha just lobbed you a teachable moment. She's like, I was listening on the mastermind. That's right. That was a cool opportunity. Thank you, Martha, to be able to kind of explain our theory on that. And not that goals are bad, by the way.
Right.
Like, they're just,
sometimes we set goals that we don't have a full control over whether or not we will attain them. And that can lead to discouragement and make us give up because we're relying on external circumstances. Again, losing a certain amount of weight might be a really good goal, but a better system might be drinking so many glasses of water a day, or only drinking 1 can of soda a day, or going on a certain amount of walks, something like that. So you get the deal. So that's kind of what I've been working on in the studio. I'll be sharing more as we go along. And one last thing, speaking of Wonder and Whimsy Society, I'm excited about this. We send out a quarterly mystery mailing, and we sent one out in January with exclusive fun things. And this is a little zip pouch that says Adultitis. It's got the Adultitis Fighter logo on it. It's got the little Wonder and Whimsy Society brand. And it's camouflage because, like, it's a fight. It's a fight. Have you guys noticed that we are in the middle of a fight? It feels like 2022. It's still rampaging on. Adultitis is having its golden age, but we are not giving up. And that's why we do this show.
And that was kind of one of our thought processes behind, let's give them something that they can see on the daily that just reminds them that they are fighting hard and they are not alone. They are among the best, partners in crime out there. So, Kelsey, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, Jennifer said the patch. I was so excited. Yes, we finally also came up with an iron-on Wonder and Whimsy Society patch.
See where you guys have put them.
So that was fun. And then we did a bunch of stickers, too. I made an Adultitis Fighter sticker, a sticker that says, do the work. Yeah, thought that was appropriate for the beginning of the year. And then this one that says, here goes something.
Yeah.
So fun little things. And none of that stuff is on the lemonade stand. We make a bunch of the stuff just exclusives for members.
Getting a lot of good feedback on that mailing. So thank you guys. Cool. It's exciting.
So if you are a Wonder and Whimsy Society member, stick around because we're doing a special backstage thing after the show on Zoom. So we'll have more details on that later, but we hope to see you afterwards to have a little bit of a backstage hangout.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
All right, you guys. So this is very timely because if you are among any type of group, whether it's a membership or your staff or, even just like associated with educators or healthcare, there's a lot of conversation going on right now about how to have the next event. And it's not clear, to say the least. Depending on what county you live in and what part of the country. So long story short, this is part of the reason we made this product, this offering, what we call the Adultitis Interventions. And it's a series of videos that are 5 to 8 minutes long. And they are packaged in different affordable pricing packages. So you could buy 6 of them. You could buy 12 or you could buy 26. Yes, we made 26 videos. Woo! And I have to say they're really fun. Yes. You could see some of the screenshots there, but Jason did a really, really good job on the content. It's like our best stuff. And people are buying them in packages to be able to just kind of drip out some wellness, keep people engaged, beat burnout, all the things without having to figure out that meeting. So in fact, today we found out that someone purchased the package of 26 for a bunch of educators in a district here in Wisconsin, and she's super excited to get those to them.
How is she going to be sharing those? Did she say?
She said they will send them out in weekly emails as just a little reminder and a pick-me-up. And then we had another group that is a statewide organization that purchased all 26, and again, to connect with their members in a unique way, because people just aren't, and theirs happens to be healthcare, so they can't meet. They're just surviving, and that's this season right now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing I like about it is because we have the different packages, there's a lot of, it makes them affordable for pretty much anyone.
Yeah. The 6
anyone's
package,
budget
video
to be
package
able to do that.
Is very, very affordable. And so it's neat to be able to say, okay, what works for you and what's your theme? We can kind of theme them if that's helpful. But we've got everything like the Be Optimistic. We've got, the Penguin Impossible. So it's all centered around a piece of art and the story with that art. And then we kind of tailor other prompting questions and tips around that, a prescription. So it's really, I'm proud of it.
Yeah, it turned out really good. So if you know of anyone who might be interested, point them in our direction or send them to escapeadulthood.com/adultitis interventions. Yes. And we'd greatly appreciate that.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Well, we've been bitten by a spider. It all started when we went to see Spider-Man No Way Home before Christmas, which led us to watch the original Tobey Maguire trilogy. And then we just finished Andrew Garfield's 2 films. My family officially has Spider-Man fever. Now, no matter what the film, I always love the dazzling acrobatic shots of Spidey swinging through the Manhattan landscape. But there's one move I like that I don't remember noticing before. Basically, he uses his webs to create a slingshot. After pulling himself back, he propels himself forward in order to quickly cover more ground than usual. It's a pretty creative and effective move. And it got me thinking about how sometimes the best way forward is by taking a few steps back. Now, I know that we're at the beginning of a new year and we're all supposed to be off to the races, re-energized and chasing our shiny new goals with abandon. That may be all well and good for everyone else, but maybe that's not what you need to be doing right now. Maybe this is the time you need to be taking a break, to embrace stillness, to lie fallow. When singer Lauren Daigle had broken through the barrier of anonymity and was in the midst of a meteoric rise up the charts, she admitted to being burned out from the non-stop touring. At the point when all of the experts said she needed to put the pedal to the metal or risk losing all momentum, she told her agent she was taking a year-long break. Far from a death knell for her career, Lauren shared that the year of rest ended up being her best financially and led to new creative breakthroughs. In our driven culture, such a bold move goes against the common wisdom to keep on hustling. The desire for forward motion is constant. We don't dare risk losing momentum, let alone consider stopping altogether. But sometimes we need to be a slingshot. Indeed, sometimes going backward is the best way forward. A much-needed, well-timed retreat can lead to faster, more explosive progress than the diminishing return approach of keeping your head down and grinding it out day after day. On a personal note, I came into the final few months of last year burned to a crisp, like a brittle slice of blackened toast. It was a good year, but a busy one, probably filled with too many yeses. I eagerly embraced a fallow period. Taking a time out, I cut my work schedule in half and spent more time walking, thinking, and hanging out with the kids. This deliberate step back has already resulted in more clarity, more peace, and the identification of new opportunities. Different seasons call for different strategies. If your tank is full and you're eagerly scaling the next skyscraper in your path, that's great. But if your spidey senses are tingling and you suspect that you might be better served by a break in the action, that's okay too. Be a slingshot.
I'm wondering how many people's spidey senses are tingling. That's one of the things. How many Spider-Man movies have we watched since Christmas?
5. Yeah.
Tour day Spidey at our house. We're obviously going through all the background ones leading up to the one in the theaters. But this is a good one. I think I've never seen Jason embrace a fallow period. This has been a new, I take that back. When we had babies, we both slowed down a lot because you have to. But this is much more intentional, and it's not focused on another human, right? Mm-hmm. It's just a slow down.
Yeah, I will say that part of the process of going through that, I was surprised to get this sort of calling that this was meant to be more than just a temporary thing. And so as we've gone into the new year, I've really changed my schedule around to be a little bit more even more present than I was before, and trying to say yes to less things while saying more yes to things that I care about more now, if that makes any sense. So, but yeah, I think it's funny how like the beginning of the year, everyone is supposed to be all on the same page, and we're all supposed to be fired up after these goals, and it doesn't work that way. Some of us, we're going through different seasons of our life, and we like to call ourselves professional reminder-erers. So if you're one of those people who are not feeling the jump into the new year and feel like you're a slacker because you're not accomplishing everything and you're not running 100 miles an hour, like, that's okay. That's maybe not where you're supposed to be. So hopefully that's an encouraging word for you tonight.
Yep.
All right, I hope you're ready to draw, because I am. We're gonna start off here tonight with drawing. If you've never joined us before, we'd love to invite you to grab something to draw with, something to draw on. It could be crayons, pencils, colored pencils, or just that ballpoint pen that's sitting right next to you. Last week we had someone draw on a dry erase board that no doubt was close by.
Right.
So draw with us, please. And we're going to start off here with a V up in the upper corner, upper quadrant of the painting, or the drawing, I should say, paper. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw a couple lines like that. And then we're going to bring that down. Looks like a V-neck sweatshirt or shirt, doesn't it? Vest. Get the V thing going on here, all right? Step by step. It's where we make it easy for you. Now we're going to take a line and go down like that. And then we're going to make another line on the other side. Like that.
Now it looks like a Y.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Kara.
I'm going to close that off right there.
We can't. These Tracy's, I tell you, they're...
All right, now we're going to draw a series of stripes up here. Just basically some lines. Is that 4 lines up at the top? And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Now we're going to draw our little stone. Be a circle-ish shape. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Mm-hmm. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to draw parentheses around that little dude. Okay. And then we're going to connect that. So it's going to be almost like it's like a rectangle that's behind our little thing. Star Wars nerds may be reminiscent of Lobot here. As I'm now realizing, it looks a little bit like Lobot.
Which Star Wars is that from?
Cue the blank stare from Sam. Right.
I mean, I'm pretty good. I got a Star Wars reference last night you were impressed with.
You did.
But Lobot.
Yeah, he's in Empire Strikes Back. He's the bald guy with the black thing around his head. He's with Lando in Empire Strikes Back. So it's kind of his right-hand man.
Do we have to watch that now this weekend for
you? We might have to, yeah. So let's see. We're going to draw...
Welcome to my world, you guys.
Draw a couple little lines here. We're going to draw the little band.
Watch.
And then... And then we're going to draw another line here. Okay.
This is funny what they're saying. Are you seeing what their comments are?
Yeah. Why don't you read them to me while I'm drawing?
Okay.
I can't do both. Okay, we're going to draw another line, a little loop, and this is, again, really free form. Doesn't have to be exactly how I'm drawing it, but this is the other side of the band. All right. And then we're gonna add a little whimsy to this by adding a little face. So for this guy, I like to draw a little eyebrow and some eyes, and we'll give him a smile today. Sometimes I draw him with a little bit more of a serious face. I'm gonna go smiley today, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different with the slingshot to keep with the theme. I'm gonna draw these kind of oblong shapes. Right? Little Spidey head. There you go. And then I'm going to draw these little shapes in
If
here.
you have not been bitten by a spider like we have, you might now after tonight's episode.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that looks cool.
So Spidey's got these little
Mm-hmm.
web things. Of course, you could just do a regular rock, but where would be the fun in that? All right, let's draw some. Let's get some color in here. What are some of these comments saying?
Well,
Kim?
I was like really impressed. I think maybe I don't know who the first one was. Maybe Paul said, "Is it the word yo?" Because if you do know Jason's art, he does have some yo-yo art that I think is kind of a neat connecting point to knowing you that you were going to go with the yo thing. I don't think you were, that this isn't the word yo.
No, but it does have that vibe with the Y and the little
very cool. So there's a bunch of thoughts on that. Kelsey says she's a little rusty. She is not very happy with her drawing because it's been a while, but that's all right. And honestly, I mean, we should mention this every show, and we don't because we forget all these kind of things to say, but in YouTube, which we're not constantly telling people to subscribe, but it is a good place to see the archive of all the videos because that is where they live after everything, easily found.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go into YouTube. It's youtube.com/escapeadulthood. And we have a playlist of just the Let's Draw episode segments. So however many shows there are, this is show number 78. There's 78 Let's Draw episodes. So if it's a snowy day coming up or just whatever, like it's kind of a fun thing to go back and do.
Yeah.
Especially if you're sharing some time with someone else. It's kind of fun to do together. You can get a lot of giggles out of it.
Yes, it is a kind of a neat thing to have that.
Satisfying,
all
that
together.
red.
So get a little pop of red in here.
Right.
Doing a little bit different color scheme than I normally would because of the little Spidey face.
Yeah. I like it.
But here's a fun little thing I like to add in with my Slingshot is a little wood. Little
texture.
Yes.
I also like how he's got a cute little unibrow.
So here's one of the things I like to do with my little snapshot guys. I like to use what's really there and enhance it or whimsify it. So here's an example of that. Is I'll draw one of these little lines, and I'm going to go a little bit thinner. Why am I drawing a blank? The veins in the wood. There's a
grain.
The grain, yes, the wood grain. Very good.
Wood grain.
And I'm going to bring this down, and then I'm going to bring it into like a little curl.
Aww.
Just to add a little whimsy to it.
Whimsify is the word he used tonight. I wish we had the technology that if we said a word that it would just pop up with like the definition.
Yeah, right. We need a producer. So
that'd be awesome.
I'm going to steer clear of his face to not confuse the issue, but I'll put in some more little lines there.
That's super added to that.
Adds a little pop, and then I'm going to add some little highlights up here in the corner of this little rubber band thing.
By the way, there's this whole conversation going in the comments about how Paul, Tracy, and Rich Henderson kind of are on the same wavelength about things, and they are agreeing that they should meet for the first time maybe at the next Escape Adulthood Summit.
Yes.
So, yes.
Well, Paul was there last time. Martha was there, but she didn't bring her husband, and I think that needs to happen.
It's time.
And they need to bring their black unitards.
Unitards?
And,
wasn't he unitard?
Do the pose. No, it wasn't, but...
Maybe you could each
I get a lot of joy thinking that it might be.
It's kind of like a Spider-Man outfit, but just all black. It's
just all black.
Venom.
Yeah,
see?
There you go.
I told you. You see how deep we are, guys.
He says, if Martha lets me come. Well, we'll see. Good thing you put in a good word for
you got some cheerleaders here.
Brenda says, my Slingshot looks like it's sleeping. Gonna be surprised. When the rock does its thing. That's good.
Send it to us.
So there you go. There is our Spider-Man Slingshot. Hope you had fun with that. I love to see your version of that, whether it looks like it's sleeping or a little bit less than stellar. It doesn't matter. I love to see everyone's attempts. And we got some good ones from last week. We did a little colossal rubber ducky. Stephen with a great contribution here. And we had Christy on her dry erase board.
Cute.
And I like those.
And this was in honor of her birthday. She did a little birthday hat.
Very good. And we were kind of playing with scale with that one, making things look bigger. So she got these normal size balloons, this giant rubber duck.
Yeah.
Then Lola contributed. I think this might have been the first time she contributed
Put
something.
in a drawing.
Possibly,
yes, I know. I love this.
So I liked her little color added in. I think I have one more.
Oh
yeah, Hildy.
Oh,
let's see, is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's a stilt walking duck.
Stilt walking?
Yeah,
yes.
stilt walking.
Oh.
So I love the little feather
hair.
Things going on there.
I guess not hair, but yeah.
Yeah, little swag going on there. Little bling.
Mm-hmm.
So good job,
Very
Hildy.
Cool,
and
if
you have dug into the Let's Draw playlist, or if you drew your Slingshot tonight, please send it to us at kj@escapeadulthood.com. Maybe you will show up on a future episode of the show. All right, meme of the week. Spider-Man is the king of playing the floor is lava.
Oh man, we'll never beat him.
He always wins. He always wins. All right, so this week I wanted to highlight a kindred spirit named Tatsuya Tanaka. And the thing about him, so we've been talking a lot, you've been talking to a lot of clients about how just worn down people are and how fatigued and tired they are from this whole pandemic. So I just wanted to share something tonight that will put a smile on your face. And hopefully we've already done a little bit of that so far. But this is just pure whimsy, unadulterated. It's like 100% concentrate. Like, it just will make you
not diluted.
Smile, okay? Mm-hmm. So this guy's a Japanese artist, and he has a project called Miniature Calendar. And it basically features beautiful miniature dioramas of everyday life. And he uses common household objects like food, cloth, stationery, electronic devices, and yes, even masks, which we are very familiar with over the last couple years. So he started this in 2011 just to show everyday scenes in a fun, unique way. So let me show you an example of one right here. So this is a lady ironing chips.
Pringles, no
and
less.
You got the ridges there, and she's ironing them there. Now, what I love about this is we talk a lot here about seeing with new eyes. And this guy is a genius. This is like master level technician at seeing with new eyes. As I show you some of these, and I encourage you, I'll share his website later for you guys to check it out. But he updates us on a daily basis. I've been following him on Instagram for a while.
Wow.
So I definitely encourage you to check him out. But check this out. Toilet paper. He's got skiers coming down. So, you know.
I love how the toilet's right there in the shot.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
And then here we go with the masks. So he's turned them into waves.
Oh.
And a lot of these little guys are from trains, like model trains. We would go to train shows with my dad, and that was one of my favorite parts, was seeing all the little figures that you can get for these scenes. So he uses them a lot. Here's another one, different mask. These are runners getting ready to start at the starting block there, right?
That is so cool.
What else? How about this one? It's going to take you a while. Rock climbing.
Yes.
With like the little toffee bar. How rad is that?
Oh, that is so cool.
You see a chocolate bar with toffee in it, and you want to eat it. He sees a climbing
By
rope.
the way, speaking of art, this is like word candy for Stephen and puns. So he's already like thrown a couple out, and he's nailing them, by the way. He's nailing
when
them.
The chips are down.
I know. This is like, oh, give me more. Like, this is all day long. So, well done, sir.
How about this one with cauliflower and a little rocket ship?
Oh,
coming
like
out
that.
There. Right? See, if you look at his stuff, everything, you're just like, oh my gosh. This is a stack of notebooks, and these people are in the paper clips as if it's one of these amusement park rides.
Yes, like the Tower of Terror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty great.
Oh my gosh.
Then we've got just some humor here with the garlic. And a little
like a little puff of smoke.
Yeah, this is the juvenile stuff that I appreciate.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I think I have one more. Yeah, and this one is just precious, right?
How simple is that?
Right?
Have you shown these to Ro?
I haven't.
Oh,
no.
she's going to freak out.
So the website is right there. It's miniature-calendar.com. I mean, if you're having a bad day,
right?
Just check this out. I am so jealous because the ideas are so simple, and it makes me think of like how long it would take me to come up with this, if I would even think of this. Right? That's part of the genius of it. So
I love that.
Super, super cool. We salute you, Tatsuya Tanaka.
A true adultitis fighter, seeing with new eyes and helping us see with new eyes.
Absolutely. Super cool. All right, well, let's get on to a giveaway. We're about time for giveaway time? All right. Well, this is the time of the show we like to give away something. And what we're giving away is our classically comfortable $10 gift card to the lemonade stand. And all you have to do to enter is answer this question in the comments. If you had a ray gun that could miniaturize anything, what would you try it on first?
Ooh.
So we were just looking at like these little miniature dioramas. What would you miniaturize first?
Can it be parts of your body? You know you're thinking it. You're like, if
my thighs are too small.
Moment on the lips, forever on the hips.
Martha did say myself, so she may have.
Honey, I shrunk myself, right?
I like Rich goes, or here we go, Godzilla. I like that, Jody. Rich goes straight to the non-tangible, which I appreciate. Stress, worry, deep. Anxiety.
Yeah, I like that.
Rachel would like a teacup elephant pet.
Oh, that's
I can't disagree
simply
with that.
adorable. Rachel, your kids would love that.
Rhonda says my boss.
Oh.
There you go.
That could be interesting.
Stephen in the Seattle area says Space Needle. I appreciate that. Evacuated first. That's very kind of you. Paul says taxes.
Oh, at first I thought that said Texas. I'm like, well, Texas is big.
It's pretty big.
You want to do these smaller?
Yeah. Christy is with you with the waistline. Okay.
Yeah.
Brian says my mortgage.
Ooh, good one, Brian. Yes.
Kathy Rose says the coronavirus, which is already quite small. I mean,
the actual virus.
Yeah. Rubber duck.
Yes. Good point. Good point.
How about the national debt?
Ooh,
Don. I could go for that.
Good point. Yeah. That would be. Maybe Don should be running for office. Politics, Don. You are good at what you do. We know that. So.
How about kayak to fit in the tub?
Ooh. See, what you might not know about Terry is that's her new happy place. Is her kayak. Not so much kayaking in Wisconsin
Not right now, but yeah, the tub, that's good.
That would be the way to do it. I love that.
Yeah, Stephen is all about that.
Tub kayak, right, Kristen? I know. We're with you.
Student loans. Yep.
Well, talk about adultitis.
Mike would like to shrink the 49ers to help with the Packers
just for this weekend. Yeah, well, you know.
You're not worried, are you, Mike? You're not concerned about the lowly little 49ers, are you?
I have to say, we had friends over today, and Ben just hung up this huge Chicago Bears flag that we got from Katie Nagel, our dear Bears fan friend and Wonder Whimsy side member. And the Packer friends went into the room, and I mean, this Bears flag is huge. It like takes up half the wall. And they were like, oh.
Guess we know where you stand.
All right.
Putting it out there. Wes, a mini cowboy hat.
Oh.
And now I want to know, do you want to shrink the mini cowboy hat, or you just want to take a cowboy hat and
How
make
about
it
Night
mini?
at the Museum? Was it...
with Owen Wilson? Yeah. That's a great one. Christy, the big snow pile at the end of the alley.
Yes, get rid of that.
Let's see. Kristen, pile of kitchen dirty dishes.
Yes.
I hear ya.
Always there. It's always present.
Jill, cars that run the 4-way stop sign in my street. Now that would be fun. Oh, that would go good. I
knew you were going to say
I
this.
have a secret wish. Like, people always ask, like, what would be your superpower? And this is appropriate because we're talking about Spider-Man tonight. Superheroes.
You may think differently about Jason after he shares this.
Here's what I want to be able to do is on the road, if someone is driving recklessly or being a jerk, just like you're talking about, Jill, is I would love the ability to point at them and have them instantly disappear and reappear somewhere in the middle of nowhere. They have no idea where they are. They know no country. It's just like, I just want them out of here, and I want them. I don't want them to die.
There's no harm.
There's no harm.
They're just alone now.
But then now they have to figure it out, and they're going to be.
It's kind of like that reality show, Lost or
Lost?
The Race, The Big Race, or
Amazing
something.
Race?
Yeah,
Where
where
you
you
going
don't
with
know
that?
where you are, and you just got to now be somewhere else.
So it's.
Kathy
I
agrees.
feel
Kathy
regularly
agrees.
that could be useful and somewhat benevolent. That it's not, I'm just not
You're not harming them.
not
You're just...
sending down fire and brimstone, but I am sending them to Siberia if need be. So,
Poor Siberia.
Jody, thank you for siding with me on that one.
Right.
So we've got some good. We got
Mary
some
Beth
good ones.
says she wants to shrink all her stuff that she just had to move out of her room for painters. That
Just
would
put it
have
in your
been so much
pocket and then be
easier.
like, it's all done, right?
But painting, that'll be fun.
Like that.
That'll be fun.
Okay, well, that's
we got
good.
some good ones.
Good stuff, you guys.
I know.
As usual. And we're just about at the end of the show, which means that it is almost time for Sweet. You can say that 10 times.
Can you
fast.
tell that we had something interesting in here tonight? What was in there again?
May or may not have been some butterscotch schnapps, which we're not
Wonder if
addicted
Whimsy
to.
Society members who were at the game night on Friday know that this is now our new thing. And Ron England, if you're watching the replay, it's just a little bit, it's just like a shot of schnapps in with the hot chocolate. He asked last time and we didn't get to tell
It's
him.
a very simple
It's
recipe.
Really easy, too easy.
And it's dangerous.
Yes.
So yes, Escape Adulthood Live backstage in about 2 minutes. We're going to log off here. We're going to log on to Zoom for a little after party, behind the scenes kind of a look. And looking forward to touch base with you if you are a Wonder and Whimsy Society member. If you are not, have no fear. We open the doors once a year. If you are an Escape Adulthood, if you're an insider, escapeadulthood.com/insider. That is our free newsletter, our where we announce everything we're doing.
Everything.
So,
including the next summit.
Make sure, we got stories about that. But make sure you are on the list to find out the latest of what is going on. And if you are a Wonder and Whimsy Society member, you can find the link in the private group. It is in the featured post at the very top, and there's a Zoom link there. So we'll see you there shortly.
And next week, tune in at 7:45. We go live Central Time. Who knows?
It's going to be a little bit different show.
We'll be remote next week.
We will be here.
We will be live.
Well, we've tried that before, and just hopefully Wi-Fi should be fine.
Hopefully it'll work out. If not, we'll let you know. But we're hoping it should work. And who knows where we'll be? We do. We know we do know where we will be, but you don't.
Somewhere different than here. Okay.
Hopefully not Siberia. If I can behave.
A boy can hope. No, but that is it for this show, you guys. Until next time, Adultitis Fighters.
Shine on, spread whimsy, and be awesome.